Yeah, we're not gonna use any game-breaking glitch. There will be some seconds breaks, I guess, but nothing major, as the name of the rule set implies. And we are going. King's Pass, the most infamous screen in the whole night speedrun community, I would guess. Like the most reset room for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Hundreds of thousands of King's Pass completions probably across the community.
Yeah. And it has actually kind of evolved, not by a lot, but I think the biggest update which happened is something we just saw in most screens is the softfall setup in the early. I mean, about the two first years of Hollow Knight, we actually were hoping on getting a RNG softfall. I mean, when the ground collapses, you have a non-zero probability of getting a softfall instead of a hardfall. But afterwards, I think it's risky. So a famous Hollow Knight runner actually found a way to have a setup to get a softfall, which is a little bit slower than an RNG softfall, but it's like way more consistent, so it's way better on average. And of course, nobody talks to Elderbug. Sorry, Elderbug. 4 sad Elderbugs, yeah. Fire seems so consistent in red. I think every run right now is very consistent. Like we saw Ax2u very consistent no resets yesterday. I'm sure fireb0rn is the same right now. Rhino as well. Homothety hasn't been streaming, but I wouldn't like count him out. To be honest, he's a very good runner.
Alright, another room which has changed quite a bit recently is the
Yeah.
Aspid Arena.
Mhm.
You can hit the spike here on the left side into both of the Aspids as they spawn and kill them both, if you're very good with it.
And so, by the way, don't let you fooled by the screens, because there are actually, what is important here are the timers, which are next to the screens of the 4-player, because as the loading times are a little bit incoherent, we are using loadless timers. And right now, every runner run with a what is called a load normalizer, which means that it's a little program that makes sure that every loading times is at least 2 seconds. But depending on the pieces, some loadings are a little bit longer than that. That's why, for instance, some people might seem a little bit ahead with only the screen, but if you look at the timer, they're actually behind. So, like, it's always something a little bit complicated to to cope with, I guess. And but we try to like be aware of that.
Yeah, and you saw throughout this segment, Fire and Axe started out ahead with the best King's Pass times, but Fire had some troubles in Aspid Arena, I think, and then also him and Axe both failed the object pogo.
The statue pogo?
Yeah, the statue pogo. So between our 4 runners, they're now pretty much neck and neck, which is really nice, because the first segment can be a bit variant. There's a little bit of RNG there.
Yeah. I think Axe is ahead with a 308, and the rest was at the previous transition, I mean, and like the furthest ones were at 310, so it's like very close right now. And let's see. Yeah, 33. Oh, it's a 330 for Axe. That is a very good fireball. VS time. I mean, he has the the community gold on that split. But also he has the community goal on many splits, so maybe it's not that relevant.
No, his gold on that split is really good.
Yeah, it is insane.
But obviously the first thing we pick up in the speedrun is Vengeful Spirit, the fireball. And this is, I mean, it's probably the most defining skill of this this run at least. Used for damage, used for skips.
Yeah, there are some seconds breaks linked to the fireball, which we will see. Sorry, like in the next area, and then it's also our main damage output, and so it is like it is the most important thing we have among all the skills we get.
Yeah, and for both those uses, you're going to see the runners take very specific paths throughout the game to collect the soul that they need to cast the fireball. So you might see a little bit of variation depending on how kind of comfortable these runners are with having low amounts of soul, maybe into some of the skips. Also just kind of dealing with RNG in terms of what enemies get in your way close enough to hit, for example. Alright, this is an interesting skip that you just saw on all these players' screens. So if you go far enough away from this Balder, then when the fireball hits it off screen, it gets stuck in the Balder's hitbox, I think, and just instant kills it, which is very nice because those enemies are quite RNG to deal with. So it's a really nice skip, but also that Risky found, I think.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he actually hid it from people, and then he did it in a run out of nowhere. And yeah, they like the four of them actually got the first fireball skip, and they are onto the second one, which is a little bit easier because the first one, like, we tried to do it with only one fireball to not have to farm too much soul beforehand, but this one we actually can do it with two fireball, and you can see, yeah, the four of them get it first, right? Obviously. I mean, it couldn't have been any other way.
Yeah, also something to mention that I haven't already, Geo is pretty important, especially in the early game, so we might see some different strategies from these players depending on how lucky they get with the Geo drops and also how comfortable they feel kind of going into later segments on fewer Geo counts.
Yeah, but I think we can see that they are pretty, like, they have good Geo amounts right now.
Yeah, Fire is a little behind, 97.
Yeah,
not
97
not great at this moment.
It's still alright. I think it anything above like 92 or 93 should be alright.
Yeah, I have all skills on the brain maybe where
Oh
Geo's
yeah,
a little tighter.
Yeah. Maybe that's why. And Fire with the with the boom strat of not going for the. Actually, maybe he went for the double fireball strat on the Moss Knight, but he couldn't get it. And they are onto Van Flanking that we are killing in this run solely for the purpose of getting Geos. We obviously wish we could not save those, but money is more important. Speed is more important than not saving those.
Actually, all of our runners had a very clean kill on Vengeful King there, except for Fire, unfortunately. When you do get a slower kill on him like that and he ends up to the right, you also lose time going, all over the place trying to collect all that Geo. So Fire has lost quite a bit of time in that room, and it really makes a big difference this early on, especially when you see the other three runners. They're all pretty much neck and neck, and Fire is not even started the Hornet fight yet.
Yeah, but the race is only starting. We can see many upsets. But yeah, Hornet fight, nothing. There's quite a lot of things to say, but that maybe nothing very important. Maybe one of the the mechanics which are actually pretty important in the speedrun need the capability to fireball an enemy in order to get multiple hits. Because one nail hit is 5 damage, we won't upgrade the nail, so it will stay at 5 damage throughout the run. And the fireball is 15 for the moment, and it's going to be 20 when we get Shaman Stone, which is the only charm that we are getting. So under certain circumstances, it's hard to pronounce. You can actually hit an enemy with the same fireball twice or even 3 times, and this obviously multiply the damage by that amount of hits. That's why with Hornet, for instance, there are circumstances where you can actually hit her twice, and that deals 30 damage on her, which is like it is 6 nail hits, so that's a lot. Oh, my mic is broken. That happens sometimes. I'm gonna fix it. Be right back.
All right, this segment that they're going through here, on the way to Mantis Core, is a really nice movement section, because there's nothing really to do here other than get to the bottom of Mantis Village, collect the Mantis Core, and then quit back like you saw after Mothwing Cloak. So we're going to see a lot of little movement optimizations in these rooms. I'm especially interested to see what type of explosion pogo they do between the 4 of them.
I hope fireb0rn does his signature.
Well, you know, not everybody does explosion pogo strats that they discovered. I don't know why, but I've heard that that's the case.
This seems like uselessly targeted at me, and I won't explain myself. So let's see. Homothety doing the classic, and Ax as well. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing what strat. Oh, Fire is gonna do the normal one. Yeah. No, nobody show off right now.
Rhino actually chose to get the Geo Rocks there. I'm not. Oh, his Geo didn't look low. I'm not sure if he's just playing it safe or if he's kind of in racing mode and forgot that he isn't doing all skills. But the Geo will definitely be useful later on. So not a big deal.
I would say that he probably is in all skills mode and forgot to switch his brain into any percent mode where you don't get those rocks.
Yeah, unfortunately Fire messed up the Mantis pogo there as well, so Rhino is still ahead of Fire even with that extra Geo collection. Now we're far enough into the race to see a little bit of kind of the runners pulling apart and being a bit less synced right now. I think Ax is still in the lead by about 10 seconds over homothety. And then Rhino's behind him, and then fireb0rn in last place, from what I can see.
So yeah, sorry. Normally my mic should be like perfectly normal right now. Sorry for having to leave a little bit. Okay. So yeah, for the moment, two groups, homothety and Ax in the lead, and Rhino and Fire who are like slightly behind, but like it's 10 seconds difference. So for the moment, it's still anybody's game. And for the moment, it's like there are no huge ways to lose time for the moment. But once we get into City of Tears, that might be a different story. Oh yeah, so everybody's fine in terms of geos right now. Oh, homothety had that, bad RNG where there are geo who spawned in the ceiling, but he got all of them. I think there were like 11 geos in the ceiling. Apart from that, yeah, everybody's behind. I mean, Ax has slightly worse load, so actually Ax is ahead. I'm sorry. Like Ax is ahead of about like 10 seconds then on homothety, and then like they are about 4 seconds in between homothety and Rhino, and then 4 seconds between Fire and Rhino.
Yeah, Ax really showing his consistency in the early game here. Maybe underappreciated consistency, honestly. People don't talk about it enough.
You mean early game consistency or Ax's consistency?
Yeah, Ax's consistency, it's insane.
Yeah.
Alright, here's the skip here that blew my mind when I first started watching speedruns, the shade skip. It's a really, really cool concept, and I'm almost mad that we only see it in one spot.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most iconic skips of this category, and to be honest, of this game, of this speed game as a whole. I mean, it's not that complicated to find, but the fact that everybody does it, I don't know how to say that, but it's very cool, and it's not as complicated as people might think.
Oh, definitely. I mean, in general, this game, of course, these players are putting on a really good show, but in general, this game is a lot easier to speedrun than you might imagine just watching it, and I'd really recommend it. It was my first speed game that I learnt, and I enjoyed it a lot, and lots of people come around in the Discord saying that they'd like to learn it, and they're inexperienced, but they managed to work it through.
This category can be hard to get into because there are many. I mean, maybe not many, but there are huge roadblocks, like the bosses, and obviously the Watcher Knights, which are going to be the next bosses we encounter. Those can be really hard when you start because you are basically naked. You only have like basic nail, and 20 damage of spells. So it's like very, very scarce. And yet, as you are going to see, they will destroy them in like maybe a minute and a half if they are unlucky. And yeah, it's hard, but you have many ways to be able to succeed. First, you can, for instance, get a nail upgrade. There is a route, sorry, which allows you to upgrade your nail, so you can have a little bit more nail damage output. And you also have like many tools in order to practice, which is the debug mode. So yeah, if some of you are interested or are getting interested by this run by watching this, yeah, feel free to hop in on the Discord, and you have basically everything you need in order to properly start learning. But it's a very, very good, very, very good speed game.
So after picking up the Dream Nail, we're now seeing our runners go into City of Tears. Like you said, this area is particularly difficult, and we're gonna see a lot of little, I guess, differences in movement here, differences in RNG. Hopefully they get good patterns, they can get good geo quickly between them. And of course, Watcher Knights, which, as you said, are really, really difficult fight. They're hopefully gonna put on a show.
Yeah, and I think we are going to see the only like safe strat of the whole race, which is taking the bench in King Station. The reason for that is that if they die, they shouldn't, but you never know. If they don't bench in King Station, they respawn at Salubra, and it's like very, very bad in terms of time loss. So it obviously will be bad if they die while benching in King Station, but at least the run will not be dead. And no Locust, I'm not cursing, they are way better than that. But yeah, right now, Ax is zooming ahead.
Yeah, and the reason why that death sucks so hard is because you need to do the shade skip again.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
when your shade spawns, your previous shade dies, and your previous shade is holding all of your geos. So you have to not only go all the way back, but find some other way to collect all that geo that you had on you, which is...
Yeah, that would be dumb. But yeah, Ax left at 15. I'm gonna look at all the times. 21 for homothety, so 20 seconds difference right now against the two leaders. 32 for Rhino, and it's gonna be a 37 for Fire. So yeah, for the moment, Ax is ahead. But the main time loss, I would say, like among top runners, is not really movement. Even though, like, of course, Ax got a 20 seconds lead, almost solely based on movement, but the most time loss can occur during boss fights. So I'm really eager to see what's coming ahead. Oh, and homothety failed to do the lever skip quickly.
This room is so annoying to try and do quickly. These flying sentries, they just get directly in your way. It's so annoying. I hate it.
Yeah, if you don't get the lever skip first try, it can be a pain. A pain way, for sure. And like the lever skip is actually one of the reasons we play on this patch, by the way, because those lever skips, the fact that we are able to hit levers through the floor, is one of the reason. Yeah, we have 1-2-1 because it's a glitch which is only on this version, and maybe like a very old one. I think maybe you might know that, Zero.
It's literally only this version of the game.
Oh, really? I thought
they managed to add it in and then remove it a version later.
Yeah, that's my bad. I thought like there was like a E1 or something which had some lever skips, but I might be wrong.
Alright, so the main strategy you're seeing here, to put it simply, is just kind of trying to get both of the knights on one side of you, and then use your fireballs on both at the same time. That's one of the key elements to optimizing this fight. Also, trying not to take too much damage. Although you have 5 health, you can use it. You really don't want to, and optimally, you wouldn't take many damage tanks in this kind of a fight.
I mean, as Pest, which is to me the best Watch Knight fighters of the whole community would say, it's okay to lose health if it's to like deal more damage. So sometimes you might deboost through them in order to have a good triple, because you see that when they roll in the opposite direction, you can time a fireball in order for the fireball to hit them 3 times. And that can be very, very good depending on the context. So yeah, sometimes you might sacrifice a little bit of health to deal more damage. Yeah, so 1755 for... Okay. Oh yeah, it's still, I mean, the lead didn't change at all right now. It's still a 20 seconds difference between Ax and homothety, who are the first two. And then... Oh, actually, I think Fire lost a little bit of ground here.
I think Fire came out ahead of Rhino now, right? By about 20 seconds.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Actually, you're right. Yeah, I haven't seen Rhino's fights. Maybe it didn't go as well. To be honest, keeping up with those 4 players can be hard.
Oh
Sorry,
yeah, definitely. I mean, all three of these other players have held world record in the past. This is an
Yep.
incredibly difficult race to try and compete in. So honestly, major congrats for even being here to Rhino.
Yeah. No, I meant for us. It's complicated to keep up with
Oh yeah,
4
true.
runners at the same time.
It
But
is
yeah,
really
yeah,
difficult. I'm
yeah.
right
You're right.
right now. I'm
Oh.
trying to focus on their geo counts because that's kind of the next
Mhm.
important thing in this section. And Axe looks a little low, has under 12,000. Sorry, under 1,200.
Yeah, I haven't seen Axe's geo route, so maybe he's gonna like fireball all the enemy at the bottom of the spire.
Yeah, he does that sometimes. When he gets bad RNG on the first way through, he'll just give up on those enemies and
Yep.
get them on the way out.
Yep.
I think it's yeah, it's a really cool strat actually.
Oh, and we saw Fire and Rhino do back-to-back elevator storage. I mean, elevator gate storage. It's kind of probably the newest minor glitch which is allowed in this category. Is the fact that with the right setup, you can be in the walking state out of a walkling, which means that you can zoom a little bit faster because the game keeps in mind that you have the dash velocity for whatever reason, and so you are able to do that leaving an elevator. And so Rhino did one and Fire did one as well, and that's pretty much useless because it barely saves time. But I mean, it's a showcase, so they are showcasing the swagger strats, obviously.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that especially Axe, who goes for a lot of small time saves. There's some stuff that he doesn't do. Like for example, in that room right there, you can do a jump up to the second platform
Hmm.
straight away. That saves a little bit of time, but he chooses not to do it. I think there's a lot to be said about just doing what you can do consistently and then optimizing that consistent strat as much as possible. Whereas Fire, yeah, you just saw Fire, for example, going for that that cute little jump right there, the impossible jump.
Code impossible because it's a little bit tight, but it's
Yeah,
not that
exactly.
complicated. It's
Yeah.
not that complicated. It used to be impossible, but now it's standard. Like one of the most impressive skips in Crystopix that we are going to see, which used to be like not unbelievable, but people would just discard it. Like it doesn't. It's not important because it barely saves time, and that it seems so inconsistent. There's no way like anybody's going to do it. And now I think I would be surprised if I don't see the forerunners do it. Maybe homothety won't do it, but to be honest, we will probably see what is known as Pogax in Chrysopix. So you see Axe and homothety arriving there.
Yeah, especially Axe has to do it. I mean, it's his namesake, right?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, now that there are so many people here, we can actually like state the truth, which is Axe invented Pogax because he invented axes. So I mean, everything involving an axe is obviously something of his own. Yeah, Axe is going for it. Oh, and you know, I badmouthed Amotheri. He did it as well and got it. He was a little bit more shaky because he failed the setup, but he still got it. Nice. So 2 out of 4 for the moment.
Yeah, Motherthy putting on a really good show today. I think he might be the most rusty runner here. Not to badmouth him, but he hasn't run any percent NMG in a while. So
Hmm.
second place in this race, I'd be really happy if I was him.
Hmm. Oh, and I didn't see if Fire got it. Ah, let's say you got it. And yeah, Rhino did it as well. Yeah, homothety got pixel. It is true. So in the room that Rhino is entering right now, there is a cycle. So the enemies and the lasers are obeying in some cycles. But even if you fade that the fastest cycle, oh, and Rhino got it, so I can explain it pretty easily. There is a little bit of there's a little gap, sorry, between the enemy and the lasers, so you can actually like squeeze the knight between the two and not get any damage, even though like the laser is there. And yeah, we see underplat, obviously, the hardest trick in the whole game, obviously.
Saves a lot of time too.
Yeah, too. I think I've seen like world record obtained solely because people were doing underplats.
It's funny thinking about it, sort of how many strats have been developed since each of these players had world record last.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we already did underplat when homothety had world record, but I actually can't remember if we did. We might not have. Some
It's
of these like
complicated
minor optimizations
to
come
remember.
out a lot later than you might imagine.
Homothety is actually the first runner who got a 33. He's the first one. So, I mean, he's pretty huge in the whole history of any percent NMG. And but he got that 33 without the last major geo reroute, which consisted in killing the Van flanking. We used to get the nods in Green Path and in Fungo Wastes, but now it's faster to just kill the Van flanking and also the most charges on the way.
And that's yet another thing that Risky gave us. He's
Yeah,
somehow one of the most influential non-runners of this category.
yeah, he was a glitched categories runner, but he at some point he thought I might as well like go into any person and see what I can optimize, and he optimized quite a lot. And Ax is arriving at Umu. Every speedrunner favorites boss, obviously. It's the best because it's consistent and it's always very easy to do the fastest to never lose time on Umu, so that's why we love it. We love it so much.
So you'll see all these players trying to do a very specific damage rotation on Umu. Just about the fastest damage, or sorry, the most damage that you can do in one cycle of vulnerability is 150. And this boss has 300 health, which means the 2 cycle is very tight to get.
So far, Ax has a good one. Let's see if you can manage it. Oh, and Homothety and Axe both got it. Damn. Crazy.
That was very close for Fire there. So one of the awkward situations you can get stuck in with this boss is you need to get 3 Dream Nails off before the second cycle begins. And Fire was stuck there between the boss and one of the boss's attacks, but he managed to get it off very
And
cleanly.
still get it. Damn. That is no reset. There are runners who struggle to get it to cycle in a grinding session, and they get it in a no reset. That's pretty crazy. Sadly, Rhino started his second damage rotation a little bit late, so he wasn't able to land the last fireball on Umu's second cycle. So he's just gonna. Oh, actually, he was lacking a little bit more. Oh, it was the first cycle. Sorry, I'm wrong. Yeah, but yeah, we already knew.
Did he get an extra on the first cycle? I wasn't watching.
I haven't seen. I only saw that Umu got back into invulnerability state before the last fireball hit. But yeah, you got the 3 cycle, which is like the default one. If you not able to get the cycle is a 20 seconds time loss, depending on if you got an extra or not.
Yeah, he's clearly not very happy with that. You could see him jumping up and down in frustration there, but
Yeah, this
not out of the race at all. 20
yeah,
seconds
this
at
is
this point is
funny
still recoverable. Yeah.
how runners can be expressive by just jumping around. You can see frustration. You can see like all sorts of emotions just by watching the knight jumping. Oh, too bad. Homothety had the perfect first phase of the skip, but he failed the second one. He got it second try, while Ax got it first try. Just like widening the gap between him and his opponents. So yeah,
Yeah.
this skip is actually very hard, very very hard.
Yeah, to explain it for anyone who hasn't seen it before, there's a very small portion of the wall on the right side where you can C-dash off to the other side and still be able to wall jump when you get there. And this trick lets you into Queen's Gardens without having, Isma's Tear or Shade Cloak, which you would usually need to get here. It saves a lot of time in this category, about 40 seconds if you have a really good Queen's Gardens, but it's also the most difficult trick in this category, or debatably, but most people consider it the most difficult trick in this category. And after you've done it, the rest of Queen's Gardens is not easy either. You saw this hazard warp here from Fire just now in that room. That takes 1 health off. So you're guaranteed to lose 1 health in this segment, no matter what, even if you play perfectly.
Yeah, definitely. That's why a lot of runners, when they looking to run the category, opt for going to Deep Nest, which is like the other route. I mean, it is safer, but it is true that if you want to go, I don't know, to have a top run, it's totally normal to also like wanting to start this right away. But then, like Queen's Garden, Acid Skip can definitely kill runs, and it had, sorry. And yeah, Axe is flying through deepness as homothety is, and fireb0rn as well. Sorry, Rhino is still a little bit behind, still in Queen's Garden for the moment, but it's gonna reach deepness very soon.
Yeah, Rhino unfortunately got stuck on that Mantis Petra arena. It's
Yeah.
Very awkward fight to deal with.
Yeah, it's really hard because the enemies to die needs to fireball, but as you know, your soul meter only allows you to have 3 of them, so you need to rely on doubles, which can be awkward sometimes. Oh yeah, and he goes for like save strat and decides to heal a little bit. That's totally understandable, and that's actually a very good place to do it.
Yeah, so you're seeing Beast Den here from Axe. This is another really, really difficult section of the run
Damn,
because there are 2, well, not mandatory, but recommended damage tanks in this split to deal with the 2 Devouts that block your way. It's really kind of required to beat them quickly, to dash into them, and then use those iframes to get a little bit extra damage on them. You're seeing very clean movement from him, though. Those spiders that climb up the wall, they can block you in really, really awkward ways.
Oh, and he's lucky on that opening. Like the devout opened right away. So even on that, he couldn't lose time. Yeah, this is a crazy time right now.
Yeah,
Let's
what
see.
pace was his Hera in his PB? He can't be that
Uh,
far behind, right?
I don't know. I don't know, but this can actually be a 32
Oh,
if
it's
he's
very close. He'd need a really, really strong THK
yeah,
fight.
but if you get a sub 316 um THK segment, which is not that crazy, it can be a 32, which is that is pretty insane. But we will see. That's the problem of the last boss. Like you can't lose 20 seconds, but it's very easy to lose like 10 or 15 seconds on it. So we'll see. Maybe he's going to be blessed by the gods of RNG.
Yeah. Also, while we weren't looking at him, Fire had a really clean Queen's Gardens, and he's actually
Mm.
uh tied with homothety right now.
Oh,
So
really?
second place, even if Axe
Oh,
has
yeah,
an
right.
amazing finish, second place could be incredibly close here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I didn't see fireb0rn coming back as homothety like that. He must have been like, must have had a very, very clean beast then. While people are spamming saxophones for Axe. Definitely a very interesting emote choice.
I mean, it rhymes. That's the important thing, right?
Yeah, but I mean, people could spam Pogax. That would be more on topic.
Too many syllables. Yeah, doesn't work.
And that's fair.
All right, so before we get to it, to explain the Hollow Knight fight, really kind of like uh, quite similar to Watcher Knights, although obviously there's only one of them. You're gonna see hit together Soul, Fireball, try and optimize those Fireballs. Hollow Knight has this dash attack where he goes from one side of the screen to the other, and you can shoot the Fireball behind him and hit him twice during that dash. That's really nice for damage. He also has an attack where he jumps up in the center of the arena and shoots balls everywhere, and you can do quite a lot of damage there as well. And what he's really not looking for is parries like that. Uh,
Yeah.
Parries are bad for damage.
And also they are bad for the stagger counter. We didn't talk about that specific mechanic, but some bosses have a what is called a stagger counter, which is like a number of hits after which they stagger. And they actually have two type of counters. Sorry, like an absolute one where it doesn't matter how fast you can link those hits, and there is a combo counter which is a little bit smaller. And so like usually you'd like the whole night to not do the parry because parrying doesn't hitting in a parry doesn't increase that combo counter. Oh, and Axe gets a very nice exploding attack. This is probably the best one for this phase.
Also, we're
Oh,
going to see Scream Skip coming up. If you get
yeah.
hit while Hollow Knight is in his final screen, you get control right there, and you get the ability to do
Mhm.
extra damage. Is this?
Mm.
Oh no, it's not. That's so close though.
Yeah, this is very close.
Yeah, this
It
is like
is
a. Is it like a 3303?
3306. I think it's a oh 06.
How do you do that in a race? My God.
Like Axe basically beat his opponents every opponent's PB right now. Yeah, 3306. Yeah, so to give context, fireb0rn, which is the third place, has a 3307. So yeah, this is just crazy right now. Oh, and Fire is gonna get a. I think Fire is actually ahead of homothety. He's gonna finish second. Yep.
Yeah, Homothety couldn't quite get the 33 there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think Fire just has really a lot of experience with that fight, so was able to close the gap there quite handedly.
Yeah, this is crazy. Like I mean, to me, a 33 in a race is always worth of applause. So yeah, don't hesitate to send some GGs in the chat. That was a very clean race. Ax basically obliterated the game with a 33.06. That is a crazy time for a race. And then, like, obviously, high 33 in comparison, it might look a little bit underwhelming, but those are great times. You have no idea if you don't know the speed game, the category. You might not know that, but those are crazy good times. And Rhino is finishing, so sadly he's not getting a 34. He's gonna get a low 35, but still, congrats to him. That was still very entertaining race, and I hope everybody enjoyed it.
I mean, how do you how do you compete in a race where someone almost gets a 32? That's
yeah, that is true. That is
I
a
mean,
very good question,
we
and
we
that's why
almost
I'm very happy.
yeah, we almost
Sorry.
had a 30, a 32, a 33, a 34, and a 35 right there. That was close.
Oh yeah, right. But yeah, that is why I'm very happy to have Ax in my team for the 106 rally race, which is gonna happen a little bit later in the day. So yeah, I'm very happy about that.
All right, so the next race that